This one mistake kept me weak for years, until I discovered the secret formula which elite athletes use to build insane strength. The secret formula consists of 3 steps. Step number 1. I remember attempting my first muscle up and it just failed. At this point I thought I was just too weak for calisthenics, but that's not true. See, I was making one major mistake, and that mistake was not setting my priorities right. I was too focused on learning these fancy skills like the muscle ups, front lever, planche, and after all I ended up skipping the basics. But here's the truth. You're only as strong as your basics. In other words, you must master the basics. But what does that mean exactly? Because everyone tells you the same thing. Master your basics, make sure you do 10 push-ups, 10 pull-ups, and so on. But no one tells you how. Let me show you an example. This is 10 push-ups, and this right here is 3 push-ups. Who do you think mastered the basics? Well, it's the guy on the right, obviously. Although that person can do less push-ups, but the quality of the reps are much higher than the person who does 10 push-ups. This is mastering the basics. It's quality over quantity. Truly mastering the basics like the push-ups, pull-ups, and squat has nothing to do with the reps. It's all got to do with the quality of the rep. And here's how you can instantly increase the quality of the reps so you can master the basics faster. One which I like to use is slow negatives. You can perform the exercise normally but just go slower on the eccentric or the negative part of the exercise. This literally increases muscle activation by 300%. Unfortunately, most people never train this way. We always go for the fast reps, but this is not how you gain control over your muscles. The second thing I like to do is called power holds. So this is basically holding the hardest part of the exercise for 2 to 5 seconds. For example, when you're doing pull-ups, the hardest part of the pull-ups is when you're holding your chin over the bar. So what I like to do is add an additional 2 to 5 seconds hold when my chin is over the bar. This forces your body to adapt faster and again increases muscle activation, which in return improves your body weight control that leads to better strength. Because what you're really doing here is you're training your energy systems. Most people train muscles, but elite athletes train energy systems. That's what my program is built on. This is why people who used it got better results faster. The link is down below. It's free for now, so don't miss it out. Make yourself lucky and check the program. But now, mastering the basics is just the start. Even with perfect reps, you'll never hit elite strength if you ignore this next mistake, which leads us to step number 2. Most people think building skills is about getting stronger. Wrong. Strength means nothing if your brain isn't wired for control. Think of a beginner trying to hold a plank. They literally start shaking. But that's not because they're necessarily weak. That's because their nervous system is not used or adapted to that specific movement. It's basically an untrained nervous system. But thankfully, there are very powerful methods you can use to basically reprogram your nervous system. One which I like to use, and it was used by the famous legend Bruce Lee, and that is isometric holds. This is so powerful because you're basically trying to push or pull a force which cannot be moved. So you're trying to move an immovable force. This basically rewires your brain to control your muscles better, which in return will help you control harder skills faster. The second method I like to use to strengthen my nervous system and strength in general is training explosive movements. The reason it's powerful is because it activates the fast twitch muscle fibers, which are the muscle fibers responsible for power and explosiveness. Once you get comfortable with the basic exercises, you can just make them more explosive, whether it's push-ups, squats, or even pull-ups. Not only will you unlock more skills, but you will increase your strength and make your nervous system much more powerful and efficient that learning other skills becomes effortless. Third method I also like to use is just focusing on one skill. This helps your nervous system adapt faster to that skill, because when you're training multiple calisthenic skills at once, you're overwhelming your nervous system with too much effort and information for it to process that just slows down your progress in general. Too many skills at once will lead to fatigue, and we don't want to fatigue our nervous system. I went into details in my previous video, which you can check out. The link's up here, you can click on it. It goes into details about how you can make your nervous system so powerful that you basically break personal records every session. But now, even if you train with these powerful methods and strategies, you will never hit your peak performance if you skip this next step. This brings us to step number 3. Muscles are not built in gym. There was a time when I trained daily, yet I felt weaker, not stronger. Why? Because real strength and muscles are not built during the workout. It's actually built afterwards. Listen, your body grows in recovery cycles. If you miss one phase, you sabotage your results. And the recovery cycle is broken into 3 phases. Phase number 1, this is where you immediately replenish your muscles and nervous system. So 30 minutes within the post-workout, it's ideal to have a meal with high protein and carbs so you can avoid muscle breakdown. And of course, this follows up with the rest of the meals you have for the day to make sure you get enough protein, which is ideally 1 gram per pound of body weight. And of course, you have fats and other micronutrients like vitamins and minerals, which basically help fuel and build a powerful body. Basically a healthy diet. Now phase 2, this is very important because it's that phase where your body basically produces 95% of your growth hormone, and that phase is sleeping. Just to summarize this, if you sleep less than 6 hours a day, then you're missing out on your potential. I would say that you're missing out on natural steroids. And now phase 3 is strategic rest days. Now if you download the free program down below, it's already a powerful training system which focuses and emphasizes on proper and adequate rest days. However, one thing to keep in mind is that every 3 to 5 sessions you want to take a proper rest day, or I would say 2 rest days in a row. Just stop exercising and give your nervous system enough time to recover, as well as your muscles and joints. In the long term, taking these strategic rest days will help you recover faster and stay in the game for longer. Think of training like digging a hole, and recovery like filling the hole, except that you fill it a layer above, which is why you get stronger or go to a higher level. Most people unfortunately keep digging and wonder why they never improve or get stuck.
Now, if you follow these 3 steps I spoke about in this video, you will transform your game in calisthenics. But the truth is, most people don't just need workout. They need structure, discipline, and a system that changes who they are. That's why I created the most powerful programs. The Bodyweight Beast, for instance, unlocks superhuman strength to defy gravity and use nothing but your body weight. The Peak Formula unlocks unstoppable discipline and develop the willpower to conquer your mind and conquer your life. Finally, Shredded and Strong, which is the nutrition system to maximize your anabolic hormones to shred stubborn fat, build lean muscle mass, and keep you energized all year round. They all have a built-in system and workbooks to guarantee transformation. Everyone who used them came back as a different identity. Right now, they're 30% off for the summer. You can use it, disappear for the next 30 days, and rebuild yourself into something most people will never become. Otherwise, thank you for watching this video. Like this video if it was helpful, and subscribe for more. I'll see you next time.